I got the music from Googling royalty-free music.
Then why'd you say no?
Why'd you say, are you sure? I told you, why would I lie to you?
Because it sounds pretty good for royalty-free music. That actually sounds like kind of like classical music. I mean, it is classical.
It is classical music.
It is classical music, but I mean like a good classical song, and usually you don't even get those on royalty-free music.
No, any songs before like a certain date are royalty-free.
But the other day I asked you if like modern day recordings of that still get copyrighted by the people that recorded them, even though the songs might be in the public domain. Yeah, I know, but right now you're saying that you do know.
No, I'm saying that song that I got was copyright free.
Okay, well,
I don't choose what kind of quality it is when I find them. I just find it.
I know, but I was just asking.
Let me see. I'm gonna pull it up on YouTube.
Are we keeping this?
Yeah, we'll keep this. I already clapped, didn't I?
No.
Alright, whatever.
You clapped on the first two. This is the third take, guys, so...
Well, third take in like 2.5 minutes.
It's still the third take. We've done this 3 times.
We started it 3 times. We never went through the full thing 3 times.
We didn't go through the full thing right now. Still, we're still in the beginning, dude.
I hate you so much. Like it's incredibly infuriating having to talk to you. Oh my god,
dude. There's like we're too close here, man.
So back up.
It's gonna mess up the framing.
All right, let's find it. Making eggs in the morning.
You didn't put it in the description?
I guess I didn't put it. I guess I didn't put it in the description.
This is before the time. Could you go back into the video and? Oh no, because you put the song into the like whatever you were editing it on, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So
that's another
there's
thing.
no way. I don't think I could take it out.
You could probably just like sound hound it or like any app that just.
Well, I could just go into what I edited on and pull it up and try and see if I can find that song.
You still have it?
Mm-hmm. I have all the files
saved
on external hard drive.
Well, then never mind. You could do that. But SoundHound could probably do it too.
Or iTunes or Siri or really anything. They do that now.
They do?
Yeah.
Oh.
You can say, "Hey Siri, what's the song I'm listening to?" and then it pops up and tells you what song you're listening to. Or Shazam.
Shazam. I used to use Shazam, but
isn't SoundHound like a old one though?
I thought Shazam was older. I used to have Shazam. Now I have SoundHound. I don't really use it that often.
I had SoundHound like a long time ago. I remember having SoundHound in like college, and then I went to Shazam, and then I just got tired of saying, "What's this song?" and then it, like not picking it up because it was like in the middle of a supermarket or something. Generally, it was when I was working at like Kmart like 4 a.m. and be playing the music over the intercom. I would like
the good music.
Yeah.
Not the stupid Christmas music.
Yeah, and then it would like not pick it up, and then my boss would walk by and he'd see me with my cell phone and he goes, "What are you doing?" I'm trying to find the song.
It's not like you were ever gonna get in trouble anyway.
No, listen, we had dudes sleeping in the back. There's one time where I was literally the only guy on the on the floor.
Yeah.
And we had one guy in the trash compactor, and just taking
in the
a nap.
baler.
Yeah, he took a nap there, and then we had another guy who made a sleeping like bed out of like the mattresses and the cushions, and then one guy just went to sleep inside the break room. He just like on the table just sleeping.
Good times.
Yeah.
I didn't work there, but it sounds like good times.
It wasn't good times. No, it was actually pretty fun times. I had a pretty good time. It's actually my first time getting anti-Semitic remarks at me. The guy, because we came out and had Little Caesars like inside, and so the pizza guy who made the pizzas would call me Jew Eyes.
I thought this was gonna relate to somehow with like Little Caesars being with like Romans, and then somehow the Romans historically not being so nice to the Jewish people.
That would have been too smart for him.
Yeah, that's where I thought it was going. That's where I thought it was going.
Nazis and anti-Semitic groups I don't think have the smartest IQ.
Yeah,
so
not always.
Yeah,
probably not.
Yeah, Anyways, welcome to episode 2 of the Halfway Famous podcast, where we're going to review the egg and talk about what we would change, what we like, what we didn't like, how we would do it differently if we did it now, and then probably segue into things that have nothing to do with the episode.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's start the podcast.
Okay.
All right. Do you remember how you came up with this?
So, actually, no. I didn't even know that this was my idea. I forgot about that, too. I thought this was Jack's idea. But I guess I'm credited with the idea in the short. So
that's why your name came first when it came directed by.
Yeah. I completely forgot, though. I don't remember.
Yeah, so...
I mean, I remember I used to make eggs. Well, we all did. We used to make eggs a lot in college.
You could go to Costco and you buy, like, the 60 eggs.
Yeah, we all did that.
It was, like, $7 and you could eat for, like, what, like 2 or 3 weeks on just eggs if you needed to?
I think 60 eggs could last longer than that. But yeah.
Well, I mean, if you have 60 eggs, you eat 2 eggs a day. That's 30 days, right?
Yeah. No,
so
I know.
Month, so it's a month of just breakfast eggs, but it's not including, like, if you eat more than 2 eggs.
I know. I'm just saying I didn't eat them that frequently. Like, I spaced them out.
I didn't.
Yeah, I know. You ate them all.
There was a big time, I think, in college where I just ate hot dogs and eggs.
I did the same thing. And
spaghetti. And chicken breast.
Yeah, the chicken breast was too fancy. I just did spaghetti and the sauce.
Yeah.
But it wasn't real spaghetti. You guys will know if you already did the college thing or if you're young adults, I'm sure.
And you're poor.
And that too. Yeah,
that
that probably has another factor.
You know, if your parents are rich, you're not going to experience college the way anyone else experiences college.
That's not true. You might just be, if you're rich, you're probably doing that too. But maybe just eating out a lot more
Probably
and stuff like
more.
that. We ate out a fair amount too. That's another way you stay poor. But anyway.
You stay poor, keep eating up.
Oh my god. All right.
So I think what I remember of how it came about is that you had been making eggs like previously, like earlier in the month, and you were very OCD'd on like flipping the perfect egg.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
and like I think you fucked up on like one of them or like on it, and like it just stuck with you. And you were so angry about like the idea of messing the egg up, like, and then the amount of work that you had put into it.
Yeah.
Like when you came to us, you're like, dude, I got this idea to do an egg thing, and so we started with the idea of like just the mess up of the egg. So okay, if we start with the idea of messing the egg up, we have to build up to it, right? So everything's got to build up to this like beautiful moment.
Yeah.
And then
tragic.
We do the classic, subverting your expectation of messing it up.
Yeah.
Right? So we thought, how do we build up to this perfect moment?
Yeah.
And it was, again, start from waking up, like our first video.
Yep.
Just copy what we did the first time.
Yeah, and I mean, like the first one, we didn't have a clear idea of what we were going to do. It was just that idea of like, oh, this guy's like putting all this effort into. Now I'm starting to remember it. Putting all this effort into making like the perfect egg, and then like flipping it so that it like doesn't break, the yolk doesn't break, and you get it cooked so you got the runny yolk still on the inside, but the whole thing's cooked through, but you messed that up. But that's not all the video ended up being, because we ended up adding like stuff where I'm just opening doors like basically with the force, and like
I remember being against that, and you and Jack thought it'd be really funny.
It was funny.
It is very funny. I don't like it.
It is funny,
but it's very funny still.
I that's what I actually really like about this. Excuse me. I don't like watching myself in videos because I don't really like acting, but I do like all the funny, like, dumb stuff we added into this, like the opening of the door, like the clothes. Well, the shorts just go on me. That one wasn't that crazy, but the shirt being flipped on and the hat art.
Yes. Yeah.
Like that was all editing tricks. Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah.
And silly.
Well, because that was actually a lot of the stuff that we kind of learned trying to learn how to shoot stuff earlier in the months in the year, and then we were able to implement them into an actual story. Like I think this is the first video that we did, which is the second video, but this had like a cohesive story to it of like a guy waking up to a perfect day, ready to do a perfect like cook.
Yeah.
Right, and like the build up to that. I think we accidentally like made a really tight video of like story and not letting everything run too long. Like for Amazon Instant it was way too long.
Yeah.
Like this one, I thought maybe we could cut down the actual cooking of the egg to like.
Yeah.
Cut that down like maybe another 10. Like cut 10 seconds out of it.
Yes.
But I know when we were filming it, we were like, it was just so hard timing everything properly, and we went through like what 3 or 4 eggs.
Yeah, because I think we only had like 3 or 4 left.
Yeah, and we weren't gonna go buy more eggs anyways for this video. None of us had any money.
It wasn't so much of that. I think we could have.
We weren't using my eggs. We were using your eggs.
Yeah, so. We couldn't afford it. I think we could afford it, but we didn't want to drive out. That was a whole other aspect to the whole.
Because Jack was the only one with the car. Too,
yeah, Jack or Trey. Trey wasn't gonna.
Trey was gonna drive us.
And I understand.
He wasn't even a part of this.
Yeah. So then, and I don't think Jack would have been down to drive either. I guess we could have just gone to Ivy Market. That's just a grocery store, and I'm sure they had eggs.
Yeah, but I had never been to that store before.
Oh, well, I did. I forgot why we didn't get eggs. I think it was just probably...
I think it was this laziness, and we didn't want to keep wasting eggs.
Yeah, or at least I didn't want to keep wasting eggs. That was definite.
It was also... It was time-consuming, and we had college still, and we were studying, and...
Yeah, that... Well...
I was studying.
Yes, he was studying.
I also had to work.
Uh-huh. Yeah,
I worked at Kmart.
It was mostly laziness on my part. No, and stinginess. I didn't want to spend more money on more eggs.
Well, this was also like the last bit of the video, so we've been filming for
a while. We were just trying to finish it up. But yes.
No, but I remember just like the timing of it, because we wanted to be so silly, because we were already doing like the Force, and we were doing the magical like zipping the clothes on.
Yeah.
And then so we wanted like a bunch of hands coming and dumping stuff on there, but we only had my hands, your hands, and Jack's hands.
Yeah.
And we still had to have someone hold the camera.
Well, but even before that, we had like the funny it was hilarious that he opens up the fridge and then there's just an egg in there. And like that's all that there is in there. We had to take everything out of the fridge.
We took everything out of the fridge.
Yeah.
We didn't even know if we could get the shot because we didn't have GoPros.
No.
Like the GoPros existed, but we didn't buy one because they were kind of expensive.
Yeah, when we reversed it and the camera's inside the fridge, I think that was tricky because it didn't fit in there or something like that. What was the?
Yeah, well, yeah. So we had
lining it up.
We took everything. We had to take everything off the camera. There's no mic, and we had basically just put the camera in the fridge and then just like lined up the best we could, and then put the egg there. And then hope the egg didn't roll when we closed the fridge.
Yeah.
And then I think we had issues with lighting, like the actual light on the fridge, like something was happening with there, where like it didn't like I think a couple of the shots it didn't turn on at all.
I don't remember that.
And so, but basically that was kind of tricky.
Yeah, so I remember that. But all these were just like ideas we came up with, just like with the previous one. But I think we had more ideas going on in this one. Yeah. It was ideas on the fly.
Yeah, and I think what happened was if you got that, you had said that you wanted to do the egg, and then we just got there that day and just sort of just bounced around ideas, shot some ideas.
Yeah.
It was like 4 or 5 hours, maybe 6 hours.
I have no idea.
It's like maybe it was half a day.
I don't know.
It's like half a day of just us shooting a bunch of random stuff that like collectively started like gaining shape.
And that was the thing. Like you say, it has a story, and I guess it does have a story, but the story is really all at the end. Like, oh, this dude's trying to cook this egg, and then it doesn't go right.
Yeah. I do remember we shot the scene. Well, before we get to that, the scene where you're spinning in the chair.
Yeah. That
was super hard to get. I remember us doing like 4 or 5 different types of spinning and like shooting that.
Yeah.
We did me just running around you with the camera.
That didn't work.
And then we did you holding the camera, I think.
Yeah, and I don't think
that didn't work.
Obviously, that didn't work.
And then I sat in your lap, and then we spun ourselves around in it was like swivel chair.
Yep.
I think that is what we.
That's the one that worked.
Yeah. But that took like 5 or 7 like takes just to get right.
Yes.
Because I think at the end we just had Jack spin us around in a circle while I was filming you.
Yeah, all of us were literally working together to get that shot.
Yeah. So, but then after that, I think I edited it together, and then we didn't. No. This is what happened. We tried to do the shot where we turned to me and Jack sitting at the table.
Yeah.
And we did the whip pan thing where it was on you, and then I whipped it around
to the table.
And then you would hold it, so Jack and I would be in the camera, and that didn't look right. So we ended up having one of our other friends, Aiden, come over, and shoot that shot for us.
I actually, I don't know. I suspect that actually would have been something we would have been able to pull off. That I think would have been able to have been pulled off with that.
The whip pan.
Yeah. But that you didn't. You probably. I imagine you probably didn't like it, and then we had to
That's exactly what happened if you shot that the next day.
Yeah, but I can imagine that you did it, and then all we'd have to do is, me get off the chair, and then me mimic it, and then I just get you and Jack at the chair, and then you could just splice those two scenes together when it's whipping, and hopefully.
That's probably exactly what happened. Is we filmed it. I didn't like it, and I said let's just get Aiden to come in and do it for us.
Yeah, that's
exactly what happened.
That's probably what happened.
The other thing, which I didn't notice until we put it out, we shot it with no milk in the bowls, or cereal in the bowls, and I thought it'd be fine because I wasn't even thinking about it.
Mm-hmm.
And I go ahead and smack the bowl,
yeah,
and you clearly see it's empty, and then you see Jack's is empty, and then I think that was what a lot of people were noticing when I would show it to them, oh, there's nothing in the bowl, and I was like, that's not the point.
Yeah, I mean, I noticed it now. I was like, oh, he hit the bowl and. Nothing came out, but that was an afterthought. I didn't think.
It's our second video. We're not really thinking too hard about the minor details of things.
Yeah, I guess I didn't really care, but yeah, I did.
So I think moving on to the things that we would change, or do better or do differently would be to put goddamn milk and cereal in the bowls. Or just something in the bowls.
Yep.
In one of the other videos, I put Chex Mix in one of the bowls, and so it's not cereal, but there's something in there and you're eating it.
I don't remember that. Wait, what video?
Skittles the Unicorn. You
well, I wasn't there, so that makes sense.
You weren't there. That's the one I made on my own.
Yeah. Yeah. What else?
Did you like this video? Did you like this one?
I actually do. I don't like watching myself, but I like the video overall. I think it's very tight.
I honestly think this one holds up pretty well.
Yeah, it's really creative.
Yeah.
It's funny. I still think it's funny. That last shot where we're actually making the egg. The idea was to comedically get as many hands into the frame to cook the egg as possible.
Yeah.
Because we thought that was funny. I still think that's funny.
Dude, I wish we'd have done a lot more hands. We should have gotten.
But it was hard, dude.
It was so hard.
It was hard because we were trying to hit every angle, and two people can, one person can only really get their hands in at a certain angle, especially when you've got two other people next to you, and then the camera above.
I think if I remember
it was
correctly,
a bunch of stuff.
It was me standing
to keep track of.
It was one of us standing on top of a ladder or a little step stool. Okay. Holding the camera straight down, right?
What does that mean?
I think it's probably you.
No, because my hands were both in there. I think I was the one holding because it was supposed to be a misdirection where I think my hands were just doing the normal thing at first with the pan and the spatula, and then the other hands start to creep in, and it's what the heck? So, my issue is that we never got more than 3 in frame at the same time.
Yeah, well, because we only had your hands, my hands, and Jack's hands, and I was holding the camera.
That's true.
So I could only skip one hand in at a time.
And then Jack
was off awkwardly to the side because
that was the other thing. The spacing of
because the kitchen was so short. We were already angled like this.
Yeah.
1, 2, and then 3, and you were cooking there, and I was behind you holding it, so I was reaching over.
Yeah.
And that's why I kept messing up and putting too much spice on it.
Yeah, I remember that too. I guess of all of the things that made it into everything that we did in the video, that was the one thing. If I could go back, I'd really want to try and get a little better.
Yeah.
Because, the idea was just to get a bunch of hands in the frame and make it ridiculous. But,
yeah, so, I guess the length of it isn't as big of an issue as is, the timing of the hands coming in and how many hands are coming in. Like, I think the timing would be fine. The length of it would be fine if we had a lot more hands and the timing was a little bit more, it flowed a little bit better.
Yeah, and the other thing that I just remembered is that the whole thing is playing to that song, that classical song.
Which I didn't have picked out until after we shot this entire thing.
No, so we just shot all these ideas, and then I had no idea what I was going to piece together. Like, but then, you know, the final result was actually pretty great.
Yeah.
And maybe that's why you had some long takes of, like stuff like the egg. You know, we have, like, 2 long takes of the egg being worked on, I think.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
And maybe that was just to accommodate to, you know, match up with the song ending and all that.
That was probably part of it, I think.
No, that's not it, because you ended up cutting it off anyways when I mess it up. Yeah, so that can't be it.
No, that wasn't it. No, what it was is I had picked out 2 or 3 songs that I wanted, and I played it for you. And so you kind of had an idea of how you would act, especially in the beginning of, like, waking up to the song. I remember I showed you guys a couple of, like, sample songs that I was going to try and use.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, I know. I don't go to you to remember things.
Yeah, recurring thing. I remember things, but there's things that I just throw out.
Like everything that's super important to my conversations with you.
They're important to you, not to me. Oh, man.
Hey, remember, Alex, we had that thing to do in 20 minutes? What thing? The podcast? Where we're shooting the podcast? I don't remember that.
No, I did remember that. I told you I was going to take my time, though. But anyway.
Yeah, no, I picked out 2 or 3 songs and I played it for you and Jack with like an idea of which one we would choose, and then I think we chose one, and then after piecing it all together it just didn't work, so I just went and found a different song.
Oh, there's another thing I don't remember.
Lucas was in editing, so I was the one editing everything, so like that's probably why you don't remember.
Yeah, but I thought the song that you showed us in the beginning, you were saying that this song that we used anyway. Okay, so that wasn't even it.
No, the reason the clips are the length they are has nothing to do with the timing of the song. What it has to do with just, I think at that time, I actually still have this problem now with editing things. If like, I shot it so I want to keep it in.
Yep.
And like I personally think it's funny in the moment, and then like watching it, giving it time, and then coming back to it, you kind of realize that the pacing's off, and like, because it's your project and like you're working on it, you can't really see the flaws or like the timing problems or the any other flaws that it has.
Yeah.
So like I think now what I've learned to do, like what we do now, is when we're done with the project, especially like writing it, we put it away and then we come back to it after some time to see how it still flows and goes.
Yeah.
And like we've been editing some stuff now. Coming back to it after, I think it's good. I can see like, okay, that's gotta get fixed there. That's gotta get fixed there.
Yeah, but like that's, I guess if you want to call it a luxury that we only have now. If like in the future there's success, there's gonna be deadlines.
We definitely could have done that with all these videos, but yeah. I think we were just so like excited to make something and like to have it like be done. Like we didn't want to we didn't even know that we could like put it away for a week or 2 weeks and then come back to it. Like I thought, at least that thought never crossed my mind. It was like, we did it, we made it, let's put it out and let's just do a new one. You know, I was so excited to show everybody.
Yeah, I've never really had that, to be honest. I've never, even when I finish things, like I don't want to like show it immediately.
Dude, we couldn't be the complete opposite on that. Like I want to show you like the 2 sentences that I've written.
I know, and I hate that. I don't want to read them. I'm like, what am I supposed to do with this, dude?
Dude, you're supposed to tell me that I did a good job, bro.
I'll tell you when you did a good job when you show me a full project.
No, dude, I want you to see like the process and the path that I'm going on. I'm like, dude, like I just wrote this really cool page and I'm super happy and excited about it. I want you to read it.
But that's like too much. I don't like that because it's like too much involvement on my part, and now I feel like I'm also a part of the journey. And this is sounding bad, but like I don't want to be there. Like I just want to have the whole thing laid out. I want your whole thing laid out. I don't want to like be there every step of the way.
You're such an asshole, dude.
No. But honestly, like if I saw like every like minute detail that went into the making of The Godfather,
you would love that.
I actually do love
would love
that.
that.
I do love that. But like in the moment, maybe I wouldn't have known that I would have loved it as much as I do now because I watched the movie first, then went back because I love the movie so much.
We're making a podcast about all the minute details that we did.
I know. I'm just saying when you're showing me every little thing that you're doing, and then I'm like, what do I do? Nothing.
I want feedback. I want. Oh yeah, that I see where you're going. That's working. Oh wait, you know what? This doesn't make sense to me.
But sometimes I don't know where you're going, dude.
Use your imagination, bro.
But then that's where that's where my imagination's going, and that doesn't necessarily mean I'm going the same place that you're trying to go to.
I know, but like if you're not being sent there about what I'm doing, then I gotta like this is where I'm starting, and like this is what I'm basing everything off on. And, like I need to like know, is it working now? Because if it's not working now, then I gotta make some changes.
Well, I guess that's just where you and I differ. I like if I'm writing something,
you don't share with me at all.
I know until I'm finished.
Not even done. Like you finish it, and then you want to re-edit it, and then you re-edit it again, and then you like try and make it as close to perfect as possible. Before
or at least what I think is perfect. Yeah, but
before you give me a shot to look at it.
Yeah, because then if I don't think it's good, why would anybody else think it's good?
Because, dude, you're wrong.
I don't think so. Like,
no, you're not wrong. You can't like, I don't know. I feel like you spend too much time trying to make it as close to your idea of perfect as possible, and then instead of just letting it breathe and like.
But I do let it breathe.
I know. You let it breathe after trying to perfect it. I like giving you the dirtiest rough like cut I can find.
I know. I know.
My biggest issue too is I show it to you, and then
you'll get no reaction.
Not only no reaction, but you go, "Oh, I think this needs to be tighter here." I don't like how I can hear action or like.
Yeah, it's more grammatical stuff.
I don't,
because that pisses me off too. I'm like, not only did you not give me anything, but the little that you do have is grammatically like incorrect and annoying to read.
I'm really happy we're doing this, so everyone can see how much of a douche you are and what I have to deal with.
I am not a douche. I'm a very pleasant person, guys. For the most part.
No, because like it's annoying because like obviously there's gonna be grammatical issues or there's gonna be like rough issues with the cut. Like,
they don't need to be.
Like I don't need you to look at that. I want you to use your imagination and see the idea that I'm going for. And do you like that idea? Because I don't want to have to do like make it like a final cut and then you go, oh, I don't like this. And I'm like, well, I put so much like time and effort in this, I can't change it now.
But
I like having the roughness there because then I can like. Then it's still open to being changed. Then like it's still like malleable. But like once I get it like real like fine, I'm like I don't want to change this anymore. What it is what it is.
Well, I guess again that's just where you and I differ, dude. Yeah. Like I don't know. I feel like if I'm working on something, I'll have a pretty clear idea on it, and then I'm trying to hone in that idea as much as I can because I am writing a bunch of bad stuff, or at least what I think is bad, and then I'm trying to rein it in and like. I don't know, just like get it as close to that as I feel like I can. And then if I have it there, then like I'll feel like comfortable sharing it with somebody because then I'm like, well, I think it's really good. And so like, even if, I mean, and it sucks when people don't like it, but even if somebody doesn't like it, you're still aware of the reason. I'm still aware of the reasons why I think it's really good and why I really like it. And I think that's probably the most important part. Not to say that you're going to disregard everybody else's ideas and opinions.
No. But I think that's the hardest thing that I struggle with is like when I 100% like believe like this is a good thing, and then someone has like a different idea or a different opinion of like, or not like when do you trust yourself and when do you trust somebody else's idea, right? Like that's what I struggle with the most is like when do I know that I'm right?
Yeah, and that I don't know, it's a risk. I mean, technically, they always say that there's no like right or wrong, like way of doing these things, when it comes to art. But, I don't know, and technically there isn't. But there is stuff that like a lot of people won't enjoy and whatnot, which is okay too. But what I'm saying is like, what am I saying? Sometimes you just gotta go with your gut, even if like a lot of people disagree. If you think it's sincere and honest to the story that you're trying to tell or whatever you want to do with it, then that's when I think it's like you just gotta stick with it. If you think it's that strong, but other times it does make you think like, oh, man, am I just being like extremely hard-headed about this and like not seeing it, and I just like want to be so right that like I refuse to change it because everybody else is saying, oh, like this isn't that great, or
it'd be
like,
funny if you cut this out, or it's would a character wouldn't act like that in this scenario, or it's not realistic enough, or I think the problem too is like how many times I've like been like so set on like a cut of something that we've done, and I show it to you guys, and you guys have like a different idea, and I'm like, no, you guys are completely wrong.
Because you spend all the time with it. That's actually the thing that I have. Like, I spent the time with it, and I like the idea.
Yeah.
And yeah. Okay, and I get that.
But then, like, my problem with this, like, I was like, do I know that I'm right? And then, like, maybe I'll look further on, like, in, like, IVPD or, well, we mostly did IVPD, so it was mainly IVPD stuff. But, like, I'd sit there and, like, okay, I have to put this away for a few days because, like, I know I'm right. Then I'll come back to it and go, wait, maybe I'm not right. And so then I'm like, my question is, okay, that can happen. So then how do I know that I'm right on this one thing? So I guess like for me, it's like how much time do I spend away from it, and then come back to it, and okay, and then I'll read it again, or I'll watch it again. I'm like, no, I'm right. This is like, this is still working for me.
Yeah.
And that's how and so like, but I don't have I don't have like, that just takes time, you know. And sometimes you don't have that time. Sometimes you can't do that.
And I think like if I don't know, if we move up in the film industry, or like people that are higher up in the film industry and actually like are working professionally in it, if they don't have that time, I think we're like the really crucial element that might come into play is like having like somebody in your corner who really understands what you're trying to do. That way they can give you like not only an honest opinion, but like an honest suggestion as well that's going to be true to, like, hopefully true to the spirit of whatever you're trying to do or whatever you guys are trying to do.
Yeah.
Because if you don't have the time, well, then maybe you have another head to like chime in honestly and like sincerely, and hopefully try and make the best product still.
Like the biggest problem there is like you need to have somebody who understands.
But that's not guaranteed. Yeah.
You know, because if they don't understand your vision and someone just gives you a note, and then you have like that day or 2 days to figure out to either stand up to them and tell them that they're wrong, or to figure it out. It's like, how do you know you're right until you don't know you're right until you cut together and you show it to somebody.
Yeah, like I said, it's not guaranteed.
So you could be completely wrong, and I think that's like the scary part. Like when we're filming, this week when we were filming, the amount of times like I was like, no, this angle's not going to work, or this angle will work, and we cut it together, and I go, you know what, maybe that angle would have worked. Then we could have saved, you know.
The angle from today work? You haven't taken a look at it?
I haven't taken a look at that one yet. Well, I've taken a look at the angle, but I haven't put it in comparison to
the other one,
Cameron's shots.
Yeah.
But the angle to when we were on the couch with Sebastian and Cameron, and with Sebastian coming through the door, you were right. We could have just shot it how you were suggesting it, and I just couldn't see it.
Yep.
And so we wasted, you know, the day of shooting because I wanted to do
not the whole day, but like
we had to reshoot it.
But just that part.
Yeah, we did that part. Well, we could have moved on.
We could have done something else.
We could have reshot the car scene that I wanted to do.
Yeah.
And now we're stuck with the car scene as it is because we ran
not a bad car scene.
It's not a bad car scene. I just don't like the angles.
Yeah. Well,
which is
the angle.
The angle. Yeah. And so, we just ran out of time, and I should have just let you have that one, and we would have gone through it. But problem is like I thought I was right, and I was wrong. So now we have what we have.
Yeah. Well, sometimes it goes that way.
Yeah.
But yeah. I don't know how we got on that.
We were talking about
trying to make it better. I flipped. I actually remember this. I tried to mess it up on purpose, and it didn't quite mess up. So I think I went in for another like move to like kind of stab it or whatever.
Yeah.
And then that's when it actually breaks and the joke starts spilling out. So I think you kind of cut the music on like the first initial
cut, which is where I think.
But it should have cut with the yolk
gooey
spilling.
Yeah. I think when I originally cut it, I had the music cut at I think probably in between both of those.
Mm.
And then Jack was, I think the conversation that Jack had brought up was the initial mess ups on the flip turn, the first flip. And so I think we went back and forth on it, and I just didn't care. So I just like, okay. And then that's just how it turned out. But like watching it now, it's too early.
Yeah.
But,
I mean, it's just like a fraction of a second. But yeah.
Yeah. I do remember the ending, though. We shot like 20 takes of how to end it because we just couldn't figure it out. And the actual ending, I think, might be a reshoot.
Probably.
Because I was really pushing for the Stella thing. Again, something that I was wrong about. I pushed for the Stella bit, which you didn't understand because you had never seen Streetcar Named Desire.
Yeah, I still haven't seen Streetcar.
Not a great movie.
I'll watch it.
Not a great play.
I'll watch it.
Not a great piece of work.
I'll watch it. I want to see it. But I do remember that, and I was like, why am I saying this? Like, I don't understand this damn context, and it doesn't make any sense to me, and I don't think it's funny. But I was like, all right, whatever. I guess I'll say it. And then I don't know at what point we started shooting the other. Well, actually, I don't know if it was my idea, but I definitely have always loved the idea of like him just saying like, fuck, and then throwing his shit in the.
That was your original idea from the beginning.
Oh, okay. So, that does sound like my original idea.
It was your original idea from the beginning, and I didn't like it. Well, I also wanted to minimize swearing on the channel, which is where it came from, and I thought Stella would be a funny joke because it's a classic line.
Yeah.
And it didn't work. It just didn't work. And the funniest thing was you saying fuck.
Yeah, which you bleeped out. That didn't bother me.
Which we bleeped out, but then in the bloopers we have. If you listen closely, you can hear you saying fuck and you're saying fuck now.
Yeah. I remember it was hard for me to like look at it, look at the broken egg, say fuck, and then turn and throw both. Did I have 2 spatulas? Yeah. I whatever. I had 2 utensils, and then throw them so that they both hit the sink perfectly, and. Yeah, that was tough.
It's a lot of takes.
That was tough. But, like, we actually got it. And I remember thinking, like, oh, hell yeah. Like, we finally got it. And it looks cool. Even though, like, you don't see it too clearly. Because I think my body's kind of covering it.
Yeah, plus we're shooting in, like, 480.
Yeah, so. but yeah. I mean, I still noticed it because I was paying attention for that. Like, I was like, oh, I remember, like, I got him in the sink perfectly. And that was, like, super satisfying. Yeah, but that is the feeling that one gets when you break the yolk on the egg flip.
And with that, that's how we end the podcast.
Yeah.
So we'll see you next time when we review The Band.
Ooh, yeah, that's right.
That's a good one. That's a good one.